Wild Squared 360 words of wisdom from a woman of worth in 360 seconds. So I'm going to jump right into it. Last time I posted my video, we were talking about temptation, and my words of advice to you was that with every temptation, there is an exit door. So you need to look for that exit door. I explained to you that temptation does not come from God. God will allow you to be tempted, but he doesn't do the tempting. Temptation comes from within. It's something that you desire. It is something that your flesh craves. And I said that I wanted to talk to you about the difference between temptation and a struggle, as well as addiction. In this second video, I said I was going to focus on a struggle. So I kind of want to start off by letting you know I'm not giving you words of wisdom. I just want to encourage somebody, because we all struggle with something. And I'm not going to so much focus on struggles of maybe weight or struggling with let's say your finances, but I want to talk about it from a spiritual standpoint, because those of us who are struggling with something, we can get it in our mind that God is not pleased. God does not love us. God is disappointed in us because we're still struggling with this. And I know if I'm very transparent, not if I'm very transparent, I'll be transparent, that I've prayed about a struggle that I'm dealing with and thinking, okay, God, I'm praying about this, but yet I'm still dealing with it. And God took me to 2 Corinthians chapter 12, and that particular chapter is entitled Paul's Vision in His Thorn. I'm not going to read that, but I encourage you to read that if you're going through something and you're struggling with it. What I am going to read is starting with verse 7. It says, to keep me from becoming conceited, because of these surpassing great revelations, there was given to me a thorn in my flesh, a messenger of Satan to torment me. 3 times I pleaded with the Lord to take it away from me, but he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. And from those scriptures right there, again, I'm not going to give you words of wisdom. I just want to encourage you, because I'm encouraging myself, that we have to, in a sense, appreciate our struggle. Because when we're weak, that's when God can show how strong he is. And the definition of struggle is when you're making an effort to get free of a restraint. Whereas a temptation is something that you desire, something that your flesh desires. But a struggle means I don't want to be in this. I don't want to go through it. But what I'm going through is so strong and so powerful. And sometimes I would say when you're dealing with a struggle, we have to take responsibility that struggle that we're dealing with, we brought it on ourselves in a sense, because we allowed ourselves to either be exposed to it, introduced to it, we indulged in it thinking, I'm strong enough. And no, you're not, because now it has a constraint. Now it has a hold on you. Now it has a stronghold on you. So it is stronger than what you imagined it. So now you are dealing with a struggle. You're dealing with a battle, and we're talking spiritually now. So when you're struggling or battling with something that's stronger than you, obviously you don't have the power to overcome it. But I would rather struggle with God than without God. So if you're dealing with something and you don't know the Lord as your personal Savior, the struggle that you're dealing with, we like to have that phrase, the struggle is real. It's going to be really real if you don't have God. But the Bible tells us that greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. So if I'm struggling out there in the world, I'm already defeated. But if I have God, I have already won. The victory is already mine. I may not see it, but I believe it. So I would rather, again, struggle with God than struggle without God. And although you may feel weak and in the struggle, just know that you're going to become stronger as a result of the struggle. Because the Bible tells us that, that was verse 9, but he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. What you're going through is not going to take you out as long as you have Christ in your life. So that struggle is different than temptation. Temptation we bring upon ourselves, again, because it's out of the flesh. It's something that our flesh craves, our desire. We want to satisfy that. But a struggle, listen to that key word in the definition. When you're making an effort to get free of restraint, free from it. You don't want to. You're making an effort. You're praying about it. You're fasting about it. But some things God's not going to take away from you because he wants to show you just how powerful he is. And the last thing I want to say that I wrote down is that struggles will keep you humble. Therefore, make sure that when you are in that struggle, don't speak negative about it, okay? Even though it's painful, even though you sometimes want to give up, you don't understand why you're in it, but it will keep you humble. Try to find the positive. As crazy as that sounds, try to find the positive in it. And what the positive thing is is that if you have God in you and you are struggling with something, he is not going to give you more than you can bear. And some things he's going to keep in your life just to keep you humble. So I say to you that, again, God will never give you more than you can bear. And stay focused on 2 Corinthians chapter 12. There's nothing new under the sun. Somebody else is going through what you have been through. A great example is Paul and what he was going through. And that key thing, if you look at it, verse 9, it's written in red. It says, my grace is sufficient for you. My power is made perfect in weakness. So while you're going through something, while you're struggling with something, while you're suffering with something, God is really making you stronger. You may not feel it, but he is. And his power is going to be made perfect in your weakness. So I pray this has blessed somebody, encouraged somebody, motivated somebody. And the next video will be about addictions. Take care. God bless.